this guy, he didn't live long.
No.
He died young. His father was, I guess, murdered.
Hmm.
And he suddenly is the, whatever it was, 17, 18-year-old taking power. And where were the Greeks like during this time when Rome's really rising, like Battle of Zama? Now they're starting, not all this land we're looking at on this map, but they're starting to get a lot of land like this. At some point they conquer the Greeks, right?
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I guess the tongue-in-cheek answer is the Greeks were in Greece this whole time, and so
Malacca.
so like the heyday of Athens and Sparta as imperial powers is the 5th century BC, which is the early period of Rome's rise in central Italy. So the Roman Republic exists in this time, but it's not really a very big deal outside of central Italy. The Greek powers are conquered famously by Philip of Macedon, the father of Alexander, and become not officially part, but effectively part of the Macedonian Empire from that point onward. And they live in the shadow of the great Hellenistic kingdoms thereafter, the kingdoms founded by Alexander's generals. So Macedon remains a great power for 2 centuries after Alexander's death. There's the Seleucids in Asia Minor and further east, the Ptolemies in Egypt. And all of these great kingdoms are the real power players in the Greek world throughout Rome's rise in the Western Mediterranean. So after Rome conquers Carthage, it faces these kingdoms and defeats all of them conclusively. The phalanx falls to the legion again and again. And the Romans conquer Greece famously in 146 BC, when Corinth, a very rich city, is besieged and destroyed.
Whoa. So I also feel like that's a common misconception, like just from the high level when we're looking at history, we think of Alexander, oh, Greek, but like technically not. Similar idea, but he takes control of things, and it's not your traditional ancient Greek empire that we think about with some of the philosophers and stuff like that.
Yeah, they're very much on the periphery of the Greek world, the Macedonians. So I don't know if you ever played like Civilization, the computer games.
I don't think I did.
So I was a big aficionado of Civ 3, which probably dates me. And every
Why does that not surprise me?
Yeah, right. And every society has its leader. So like for the Romans, it's Julius Caesar. For Egypt, it's Cleopatra. For Greece, it's Alexander. He's their de facto leader. And it kind of, I think, speaks to how he's become just part and parcel of the Greek national identity. But he spoke Greek, even though kind of a funky dialect of Greek in Macedonian, and it, of course, was taught by Aristotle very famously. Aristotle was his tutor, and so he knew all of the latest developments in Greek philosophy and Greek literature. The Iliad was his favorite book. He had it under his pillow every night. So he was thoroughly a member of Greek culture without quite being a Greek in the sense of being Athenian or Spartan or someone who would have gone to Delphi routinely.
Right.
And so, they're part of that world, but on the edges of it. And that's an advantage to them. They're actually farther north. They have better land. It's more moist. They have a lot of horses. Their cavalry is a big deal. And they take advantage, Philip does, of the many squabbles of the Greek city-states to divide and conquer and make Greece part of the Macedonian Empire.
Yeah, and I think there was a great like docu-series type thing on Netflix about Alexander. I was watching a little while back. I didn't watch all of it, but a couple of the episodes. And this guy, he didn't live long.
No.
He died young. His father was, I guess, murdered. And he suddenly is the, whatever it was, 17, 18-year-old taking power. And I forget how big the Macedonian Empire was at the time, but like he expanded it to pretty much everything to the east, no?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's incredible. So, he becomes king, or he begins his campaign at the age of 20 and dies at 32. And in that dozen years, conquers the known world, essentially. Macedon is a strong state by Greek standards when he becomes king. It has all of what's now northern Greece, pretty much, little chunks of what's now Bulgaria, and has an efficient army that's built by his father Philip. He's the one who really evolves the phalanx, the famous Macedonian phalanx, with its very long sarissas, these very long pikes that are so long that any ordinary Greek phalanx can't get to come to grips with them. They kind of are impaled on these I think there's 5 rows of spears go beyond the first man. There's a hedgehog of spears. And so while they pin down the enemy, the cavalry attacks on the flanks of the enemy and destroys them. It's a very effective 1-2 punch.
Yeah.
Where the phalanx pins you down, the cavalry comes around your flanks and destroys you. But Alexander perfects the use of this very, potentially very powerful instrument. And again, he never loses a battle against the most incredible range of foes. So he fights 3 big set-piece battles against the Persians, at Granicus, at Issus, and at Gaugamela, or Arbela.
Where is that in modern-day parlance?
Granicus is in what's now northwest Turkey.
Okay.
Issus is what's now far southeast Turkey, near the Syrian border. Near the Antioch, where Antioch was later founded, very near there. And
Antioch.
Exactly. This guy,
too,
he definitely did. Yeah, the guy with the curls again.
Yeah.
I should have brought a wig to this interview.
Yeah, you should have.
And then the last one, Gaugamela, is fought in Iraq, not too far from Babylon. And so these encounters, at each of them, he proves conclusively that Greek heavy infantry, and above all Macedonian cavalry, can destroy Asian light infantry in massive numbers. So he's very effective in these battles, but it really proves his brilliance, I think, in the Central Asian campaigns, the Indian campaigns, fighting armies no Greek had ever seen before. Everything from the steppe cavalry of what's now Uzbekistan to the elephant armies of Pakistan.
Elephant armies.
He fights elephant cavalry. The Greeks never seen them before. And so he's the first Greek to engage with war elephants.
Oh, this is like before Hannibal and all that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, because after Alexander, his generals made the elephants part of the arsenal of Mediterranean warfare, but it hadn't been before that.
Can you imagine being on a battlefield and seeing a fucking elephant, an angry elephant?
An angry elephant
with with extra spikes coming out of its legs coming at you.
In Return of the King, the Lord of the Rings movie, they have the Oliphants come out, with the big spikes and everything. Obviously, they're a little bit plus sized and everything, but the effect must have been kind of like that.
Dude, you're like running in with your little armor and spear, and you hear like in the background, shit is you're done. You're just all right.
Supposedly, the reason that they had to turn around Alexander is his men wouldn't face more elephants. They were so tired of the elephants.
How would they like strategize trying to kill it?
They learned that you could kind of part ranks around the elephant and kind of close it in and then kill it from behind. Also, there's a lot of different ways. You can release flaming pigs.
Wait. Flaming pigs.
Flaming pigs. You grease them up and light them up, and off they go. And elephants, the motion and the light freaks them out.
Of a running squealing pig dying on fire.
Yes. So not very great for the animal, but highly effective apparently.
Oh my God.
There are all kinds of anti-elephant measures, but they discover eventually that the best way to do it is just to part ranks and kind of close on all sides. The elephant can't maneuver easily. The thing with elephants is that they panic pretty quickly. And when they do, they're as much a danger to their own side as they are to the enemy. Because an elephant on a rampage is rampaging on left, right, anywhere behind him, and you don't want to be behind the rampaging elephant.
It's the most dangerous animal in a bush.
It really is.
People talk about lions being the king of the jungle and shit, and you watch some lion videos, they don't fuck around. But elephants are living, we talked about chickens being dinosaurs. Elephants are literally actually from that era.
Yeah.
That's
don't fuck with
crazy.
Elephants. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So even Alexander's men, after a while, have had enough of this.
Is it bad that I'm rooting for the elephant?
I mean, elephants are great, right? Actually, famously, so there's Pompey, Caesar's great rival, puts on a show in the Circus Maximus, Rome's big chariot racing venue. We will, okay. And he has at which there's an elephant hunt. They hunt down, I think it's a half dozen elephants. And the elephants, as they try to escape, of course, and they try and get out, and they're trumpeting piteously, and people feel bad for the elephants because you don't want to see them shot down like that, and it ends up being a PR disaster for Pompey because he had these elephants shot down in this way because people just started why is he these defenseless creatures? Of course, they're not defenseless on the battlefield because they've been trained to attack, and they're very good at that too, but. But yeah, so anyway, Alexander's men make him turn back. He wanted to keep going all the way to China. He didn't know where China was, but he wanted just to keep going until he got to the other side of the world.
It's like the kid, dig a hole until you get to China.
Pretty much. That was Alexander. For him, it was an end to itself, conquering.
Do you think, Thank you for watching the video, guys. If you haven't already subscribed, please smash that subscribe button and check out this clip's full podcast episode by clicking here